Check this out, guys. Crazy rain, sunshine there, clouds over here. Crazy beautiful rainbow. You can't even, the colors just aren't coming across. Beautiful. Hey everybody, this is John, Lake Erie Chestnuts, and we're gonna walk you through our orchard. It's August 7th, 2024. Our orchard has about 450 chestnuts, about 30 different varieties, and they're all essentially grown from seed. We have only 3 grafted trees. We're going to take you through that. We've started our mowing process where we work with nature as best we can, leave the grass tall, let the turkeys have their babies, let the deer have their babies, let them get mobile, and then in mid-July or later, we start the process of mowing it down so that we'll be able to harvest the chestnuts. So we'll walk that path. Beautiful day here. We've had sun, now clouds starting to come in. We've had rain off and on the past couple days, so the orchard, if you look at the grass here, is getting nice and green, but you'll see the dead grass because we use the brush hog, the 6-foot Frontier brush hog that we have with our John Deere 5065E tractor. And we'll come back through here in about another week. We'll mow it down with our lawn tractor, an LA 105 for those of you taking notes. It's about 20 years old. But we're going to look and see what we got as far as chestnuts here. Yeah, we'll just come down here. Lots of people really know the Dunston brand. We only have 1 or 2 Dunston branded trees, but those are seedling trees, mostly Chinese with a little bit of American genetics. This tree here, if you can get it all in here, I got my photographer Eric here. This tree is about ready to bust out of its setting here, and I'm going to bring a cage and get this switched over to a cage here shortly. But beautiful tree here. If you look and zoom in up there, you can see a bunch of burrs, and we had a lot of pollen flying around, so I'm hopeful that this tree will produce quite a few chestnuts this year. This is about the best tree of Dunston parents. I grew this from seed from Chestnut Ridge of Pike County, and this is one of the best ones we have. Again, it'll look very similar to the rest. It's not going to be vertical. It's not going to look like an American. Its leaves are going to look Chinese. That's exactly what Dunstons are. They're not a terrible Chinese with a little bit of American genetics, but we have lots of them that look a lot like it. Walking on through here, we can get a close-up on some of these. Again, the Burrs right now, where we're at in northwest Pennsylvania, we're up near Lake Erie and Erie, Pennsylvania. We're in Corey, Pennsylvania. The chestnuts will stay pretty small, and within the next, I say by mid-September, if they're still just barely bigger than this, I always say golf ball sized, we would say that they're probably not fertilized. But if they start swelling up to being tennis ball sized, baseball sized, they're probably going to have at least 1 or 2 fertilized nuts. But hard to say until that time comes. I don't have a good way. If you know of a good way to tell if this is fertilized without cutting it open, let me know. But my best way of telling is wait until mid-September, and if they start swelling up, then maybe they're pregnant. You can see the height here. This is trees planted mostly in 2015, 2016. Some of them are incredible tall varieties, others are not. But I'm 6 foot tall, can reach 8 foot tall. So, you can see. I've done no fertilizing for the past couple years. Again, if you've read about my fertilizing program, I did it to get them above the deer browse height, which is about 6 foot here, considering the snows we get. We can sometimes have a foot or 2 snowpack. So 6 foot's really what deer, the browse height is. This is a really awesome looking tree here. Has it got any chestnuts on it though? It's got a few. I see a couple at the very top here. You can see some chestnuts, not loaded. These are all baby chestnuts. They can grow couple hundred years. Some may live 60, but some may live 400. This one has a few burrs at the top, not loaded. It's doing okay. This is a tree planted as a 1-year-old seedling in 15 from a Perry parent. This is a slightly less than average tree for us. Perry is a good tree though. Here's a sibling Perry tree. It's one of our best trees. I've shown it to you 5,000 times. It's a beautiful tree, has tons of burrs on it again this year. It's such a favorite that the deer were rubbing on it. We've talked about that over and over. You can look at the trunk and, you know, it got some love, so I put the cage on it. And we got a little bigger than that 1 foot diameter cage because of the lean. But a beautiful tree. We'll just keep walking. Another Perry tree. Nice, beautiful tree. Got decent burrs up at the top. Remember, chestnuts produce on the most outer limbs. So these are planted 30 foot apart in 30-foot rows. We'll swing over here and look at this tree. This is a good looking tree. These are all 30 foot apart. If you plant them too close and they start touching, where they touch, they're not going to produce. Now these burrs, these are bigger than the ones I just showed you. So these almost certainly are fertilized. They're in a row with where there was plenty of bloom, and they're not quite tennis ball sized, but they're bigger than golf ball sized. And so I'm expecting big things out of this. This one, also planted as a 1-year seedling in 2015. It's a Yixian good flavor. Yixian, Yixian good flavor. That was the mother tree of this, but it's open pollinated, so it's not going to have all the characteristics of the mother tree. We got some monarchs flying around right now doing the nasty. So maybe have some little caterpillars crawling around shortly on our milkweed. More burrs. I'm going to say 50 burrs on that tree. You know, we talk all the time about chestnuts, and if you're new to chestnuts and you think, oh, this is great because you're not going to have to do any sprays, and you know, you don't have to do 7 sprays or 13 sprays or however many sprays as it is for apples, and you don't have to do as intensive pruning, blah, blah, blah. That's all true, but weevil, I keep calling it a border, but the chestnut weevil is a problem. So other problems, you get a tree that looks like it's doing good, and then inexplicably half of it's doing good and half of it's not. That seems to be something that you deal with chestnuts. So this tree may not wake up next year. You know, we'll just have to see what it does. It's another Perry tree. So you think you got one figured out that really likes it where you live, and then you get one that dies. So hard to say. Nice looking tree. Good branching habit. We'll come over to this last tree here. I'm going to say the harvest will be bigger than any we've ever had. But it still remains to be seen if it's going to be exponentially bigger. I kind of had hopes that it was going to be exponentially bigger because of how we didn't have much of a harvest last year after a decent harvest 2 years ago, and that late frost got us. I was hoping we'd get something bigger, but yeah, we've got a lot of burrs. They're still pretty small. Hopefully we got enough of the pollen carrying around, and we'll have a great harvest. But that remains to be seen. If you're trying to call me, I sometimes just can't answer. I'm running a life here. I'm sorry about it. I'd love to be able to talk to every one of you, but I got 4 kids, a wife. I'm running rentals, trying to work every now and then. So it's a little bit of work trying to keep up with you guys. But if I'll have chestnuts to sell, I'll let everybody know by video, probably mid-late September. So I appreciate your patience with me. I do try to comment and reply to your comments. And that's what's happening in the chestnut orchard. We'll walk out here. We got our little grid mowing, trying to work with nature. Got all sorts of flowers, wildflowers here growing. Lots of butterflies. Beautiful day. It was sunny and blue skies earlier. Now it's a little bit of a cloud cover. But beautiful chestnut type of day. Hopefully you guys are having a great time getting something done with your growing plans. Remember, guys and gals, if you're not out there growing, you're dying. Deer season right around the corner. Chestnut harvest season coming up. Get out there growing. We'll see you on the next one.